Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm bringing you my initial thoughts on the Black Ops 6 beta. It is currently Sunday. I've probably played the game for about 20 hours now over the last 2 days on and off stream. So in the last 48 hours, I've spent like 20 of those hours on this game. So I think I'm ready to give you guys some thoughts. I'm gonna start with some general thoughts and then kind of go into more specific categories. If I had to describe to someone who's never seen or played this game, like what it's all about in like very simple basic terms, I would say it's kind of like Cold War with the most advanced boots on the ground movement system that we've ever had in Call of Duty. I wouldn't necessarily say it feels like Cold War because of the movement system is just so different from anything that we've ever had, but it definitely has that type of vibe to it, if that makes sense. If we get into some of the gameplay, I'm gonna break it down into like a couple different things, but the time to kill, let's start with that. According to Treyarch themselves, they said the time to kill is supposed to be slightly less than Cold War, and I would say that does seem fairly accurate based on my experiences playing the game. It's kind of in like a middle ground of time to kill right now. There are a few CODs that have a higher time to kill, and there's a few CODs that have a lower time to kill. You have to be careful with time to kill in every COD, but I think especially in a game like this, because of the movement, you know, if you make the time to kill really quick, like MW2, not the original, the one we just had like 2 years ago, if it's super quick like that game, I don't think you'd be able to utilize the movement effectively because, you know, you would just die so quick that someone couldn't even like, you know, pull off any good movement. They'd already be dead. But at the same time, I don't think you want to have the time to kill too high, like, you know, Black Ops 4 or Cold War or anything like that, because then it might take away from your actual ability to kill people. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, you don't want people to just take a lot of damage and then get away because of movement, and then, you know, you don't want to turn the game into like Halo. Obviously, I don't think it would, you know, go to that extent, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if your health is very high and you have all this movement in the game, then like I feel like the kills go down, and that's like not something the Call of Duty community would like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to get kills. That's the point of Call of Duty. It's a fast-paced game. You get a lot of kills. So I'm okay with the time to kill being kind of where it is. It is a little bit inconsistent, I would say, from time to time. Maybe that's just a beta thing. I think the servers are very bad in the beta. That's of course a beta thing. I'm not going to really try to criticize like beta things, you know what I mean? I'm trying to really just talk about the actual game itself. Also, something to consider with the time to kill is that the Jackal PDW is way better than every other gun in the game, like not even close, and most people are using that gun. That gun is also the pre-order gun. I'm sure that's a coincidence, of course, but that gun kills so fast and it's so good. I'm sure it's gonna be getting nerfed, but something to consider is if you use some of the other guns, you'll see that the time to kill might not be as fast as you think it is. You know, the problem is everyone is just using this OP ass gun, so the time to kill seems even faster than it actually is. Next, let's talk about the movement. I think it feels very smooth. You know, I like how everything kind of chains together. You do get some dead slides from time to time. Coming into it, I thought maybe this movement might be like too much. You know, it might be overwhelming. It might be like too crazy. I don't know. After playing it for so long, I wouldn't really say so. You know, I think it's pretty solid. I really think there's going to be a skill gap developed with the sliding part of the movement. The diving is cool, but I think it's more situational. You know, you only want to use the dive in very certain situations. I don't think you really want to just be diving around the map nonstop. That's not a good idea. What you really want to master is the omni movement slides. What I mean by that is like the slides in different directions. Like, I'm gonna show you a clip of what I'm talking about. This is a clip from Shotzi. Some random guy in like his pub game just hits him with like the most insane backward slide down the stairs, and it just completely breaks his aim and he just destroys him. You can even see like Shotzi's reaction. He's mind blown at the movement this guy just pulled off, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean by the slides. I think the skill gap with the movement is really gonna be based around like the different types of slides you can pull off, and then occasionally you throw in a dive here and there. It's more situational. I could be wrong. It's very early in this game. 6 months from now, when everyone's played this game a lot and we figure out how the movement works better and all that, maybe it'll look different. We might all look back at our gameplay from the beta right now and think, wow, we're all terrible. You know what I mean? What are we doing? Because the movement just becomes like so advanced when everyone like gets used to it or whatever. I don't know. That's definitely a possibility. I will also add that laying down on your back is surprisingly effective, only because it looks so weird in game, it kind of catches people off guard. Like I'm still getting caught off guard, and you know, I've seen it so many times already, but it's still like, it's so new to see somebody like positioned like that in Call of Duty that like, it doesn't always register to me right away when I see someone that's like laying on their back that's actually a person that's gonna shoot me, you know? So I'm a little like split second late in shooting them, and sometimes they kill me just because like they're laying down on their back like that, and I didn't notice it at first. So that's definitely gonna get some getting used to. But overall, I'm just curious how this game is gonna look like 3 months from now, 6 months from now, I don't know, a year from now or whatever. Like once people really master the movement and a lot of like more advanced stuff starts getting done, I wonder if this game is just going to look crazy, or if this is kind of around the level that people are going to stay at, you know. I'm not really sure. Another general gameplay aspect I wanted to address was the aim assist. It is confirmed that they did nerf aim assist in this game, especially when you are like very, very close to people. I believe super close quarters, I don't know the exact distance. If I had to guess, maybe like 0 to like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 meters, something like that. You actually get 0 aim assist. It's confirmed. Like if you're right next to somebody, you're going to get 0 aim assist on them. So that's a pretty big change, because close quarters is where aim assist helps the most. Close quarters is where like controller has the biggest advantage over mouse and keyboard. So extremely close gunfights right now are no aim assist regardless of input. So like all the mouse and keyboard guys have always been like upset forever in Warzone and I guess in pubs as well that, you know, close quarters is unfair. But now everyone is on an even playing field for super close quarters gunfights. So I'm all for the reduced aim assist. You know, I'm old. I come from the golden age of COD, I would say, where we didn't have crazy aim assist back in the day. You know, if you've played any of the like older CODs back in like the Xbox 360 days, even, you know, Xbox One, PS4 days or whatever, they didn't used to have this much aim assist. You know what I mean? Like if you play this beta and, you know, and if you've played a lot of MW3, the recent MW3, the current COD, you will notice a ridiculous difference in the aim assist. Like it's so easy to aim in MW3. Like everyone has ridiculous gun skill. Like it's so easy to aim your gun in that game. Compared to this beta, like it's a lot more difficult, you know what I mean? It's not hard or anything. Like if you're good at Call of Duty, you can aim your gun, you know? And I would imagine most people would support that, you know, aim assist has got toned down, you know what I mean? I think it's a good change, because like if you don't support it, like what are you saying? Like are you saying like, hey, I'm ass, I can't hit my shots, the aim assist needs to be stronger? Like I don't think many people are going to be saying that, you know? It's kind of crazy to say that. So I would imagine most people are in favor of this change. And then finally, last but not least, the spawns in this game are really bad. And maybe it's just a beta thing, but I'm going to address it. I'm going to say it just in this video because I know what the issue is. It shouldn't be that difficult to fix. But the way Call of Duty spawns are supposed to work in a good Call of Duty game is you should have negative influence on the enemy's spawns. What I mean by that, like if you're standing somewhere or if you're looking at a spawn, the enemies should not spawn there. You are blocking the spawn. Obviously, sometimes they will still spawn there depending on the game mode. If it's a fixed spawn game mode, they could spawn there, or if all the other spawns are blocked as well and they have nowhere else to spawn, they might spawn there. But in general, the way Call of Duty spawns are supposed to work, the correct way, is you should be able to block spawns with your presence. In this game, your presence doesn't really block the spawn. It doesn't even matter the game. Even in TDM, it doesn't block the spawn. I've spawned right next to enemies in TDM, which doesn't make any sense. Like objective game modes, maybe that can happen from time to time because of the objective and you're being forced to spawn around the objective, but in TDM, like that really shouldn't happen. And that tells me that like your presence doesn't really negatively influence spawns in this game. So I would imagine they're going to work on that a little bit. It shouldn't be that hard of a fix, I would guess. I don't know. I'm not a developer. Maybe that's hard to do, but just something I thought I would address because the spawns are pretty bad. Also, real quick, let me just say they need to fix the fucking packet burst. It's non-stop, it's absurd, it's ridiculous. The issue, I guess, is like a month ago, I don't know which genius over at Activision decided this was a good idea. They forced everyone to turn on the on-demand texture streaming in your game. Most people have had this off for years because it makes you lag and you get this packet burst, but for some reason they don't allow you to turn it off anymore and everyone has to turn it on. And even if you set it to minimum and like the lowest settings on all of it, so you know, you try not to do it as much, it doesn't matter. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason that everyone's getting way more packet bursts now. I noticed it even in MW3, this update. I don't know exactly the date of the update when they started making people do this, but like a month or two ago, they started making people do this. And even in MW3, I noticed a difference. And in this beta, it's really bad. So hopefully we can get rid of the packet burst because that is just a dumb issue. It shouldn't happen. It's just inexcusable, honestly. Like it just give us the option to turn it off. Simple as that. Like it wasn't broken. I don't know why they changed it. They might have a good reason for changing it. I don't know, but I would like to turn mine off so I can stop getting getting packet burst. I don't really care, like, because I can't deal with this fucking packet burst, bro. It's so annoying. So that's kind of my general gameplay thoughts. Getting into some of the more like specific aspects of the game, let's talk about the maps, because this is a pretty big one, right? I'm just not that impressed by the maps in this game so far. We've played 4 of them. I think Skyline is the best map. That's the one that's in like a mansion. It's a possible competitive map. Probably will be a competitive map. I don't think these maps are ass. You know, I think a lot of people are saying, oh, they're just trash, they're terrible. I don't think they're ass, but none of them really like stand out to me as like really good, amazing maps or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're just very mid, maybe like average at best, maybe slightly above average, slightly below average. Like, just really not impressed at all. I know we're gonna get some remastered maps, but I really want them to have some good original maps as well. You know, Treyarch usually does make good maps, so I'm gonna trust them that there will be good maps in the full game, but that is kind of a concern that I have right now, and maps are very important for the game, obviously, so we'll wait and see. You know, we've only seen 4 maps. In the second weekend, they are gonna add another map as well, so we're gonna end up seeing 5 of the original maps that they made for this game before the game releases, not counting remaster or anything like that. So I don't know, I'm just hoping that the maps get better, because right now I'm just not impressed, man. I just hope they do a little bit better on the maps. So we'll have to see. As far as the weapons are concerned, like I said earlier, we all know, if you've played the game, you know, the Jackal is just way better than every other gun in the game, not even close. Pretty much anybody that's like trying hard or is good at the game is going to be running the Jackal. It is the pre-order gun, you know, like I said, probably not a coincidence that it did that. For ARs at least, though, I really like the XM4. I do see some people liking the aims. I don't know. I tried the aims. I gave it a real chance, honestly. I just personally think the XM4 is better. It just feels stronger, but everyone's just using the Jackal. You know, that always happens in the beta. You know, there's always like some OP gun that everyone uses. I wish all the attachments were unlocked, you know, so I could experiment better with different guns, but some of these guns, like, I'm not going to sit here and rank up an LMG to level 30 in the beta. Like, I'm not doing that. It's a beta. Like, it's a waste of your time to spend like 4 hours ranking up this gun, and then you're going to lose that progress. On top of that, it might not even be good after you rank it up, so you just wasted your time. Like, it's just not worth my time to do that. I just tried out all the like solid guns, you know, that actually make sense to you know, play with and rank up. One thing I did notice, it looks like, at least on paper, none of the attachments have negatives this year. It doesn't say, you know, on there that they have negatives, other than laser, of course, but the negative it says is like they can see your laser, which is obvious. But, you know, I do like that they made things more simple this year with the Gunsmith, because that was always annoying, you know, like, I felt like, I don't know if it was just me, but I feel like I was always like doubting my classes. I was like, I would make a class and I was like, man, you know, is this really the best class? I don't know. Like, there's like all these negatives and like there's 8,000 attachments. I think it's a good class, but like, I'm not 100% sure it's the best class. You know what I mean? I might be doing something wrong and I don't even know. So I like that it's a little less complicated now. There's no negatives, but I will say, like, for example, it says there's no negatives for like the suppressor, right? But when I put the suppressor on my gun, maybe it's just in my head, maybe I'm crazy, but maybe some testing needs to be done on this when the game comes out or whatever. It feels like the gun is weaker. I would say the gun is weaker. And I know, like, in previous Call of Duties, even before we had 8 million attachments, like, when you put a suppressor on, your gun did get weaker. So I think the gun gets weaker, so I think there maybe are some negatives and they just aren't telling you that. I don't know, maybe that's all in my head, but just me personally, playing with and without the suppressor on certain guns, like, I felt like I could feel the difference, but I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for saying that. As far as the kill streaks go, they're pretty solid, but like, we don't really have many options right now. Like, the helicopter's decent. I don't know why the Hellstorm is the highest kill streak. I wish we had like one more higher kill streak than that so I could see like a good kill streak, you know what I mean? Like one of the top kill streaks. I do think the score for these kill streaks is kind of crazy, right? Because like a UAV is like, I think 675. The Hellstorm is 1200. I mean, I just feel like the general like floor of all kill streaks is a bit high in this game, right? Because let's say, you know, the Hellstorm is 1200. What is like the final kill streak gonna be? Like if it's a chopper gunner, I know there is a chopper gunner in this game, so if that's the final kill streak, Hellstorm's 1200, what's a chopper gonna be, like 3000? You know, obviously you can play some objective, but still, like, even if it's 3000, you might need to get 20 kills to get a chopper gunner, which I think is kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting close to a nuke there just to get a chopper gunner. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me, so they might need to adjust some of the actual score itself. Maybe just lower the higher kill streaks. Like, if they don't want like UAV spam and stuff like that, like, you can keep that high, but maybe lower some of the higher end if they're like super high. I don't know, you know, obviously we haven't seen them yet, but I just thought it was a little bit high. There is a nuke in this game. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use a nuke gameplay in this. I don't know at what point in the gameplay we're at right now, but I have dropped a couple nukes, so I'm using nuke gameplay in this. I think the nuke looks pretty cool. It's a 30 gun streak. It ends the game. The actual animation itself, when you call it in on the map, I think it looks pretty cool. It might be the coolest nuke that we've ever had. I don't know what it does to your character and like just the way the nuke looks on the map. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm impressed by the way they did the nuke. It's always good to have a nuke in the game. Just have it as an extra option. You know, not every Treyarch game has a nuke, so I like that they included it in this game. It's just something cool to have in the game to go for. As far as perks are concerned, I've been running mainly like the all red perk loadout so that you get the bonus perk, which is basically quick fix. And I really feel like dexterity is like almost a must in this game with all like the sliding and the diving and all that stuff you got to do. You kind of need dexterity, so you know, I like the all red and I get the bonus quick fix. There's no dead silence in this beta. I thought they said in this game, in the full game, that we are going to have dead silence, but it's not going to be completely silent, so it will probably be similar to Cold War dead silence, if you guys remember that. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the information that was put out there. Obviously, there's going to be more than 2 wild cards, and so because of that, I just think we don't have all the perks right now in the beta. There's like, I don't know, like 4 in each category, so there's like 12 perks, I think. I think there's going to be more perks and more wild cards in the real game, so I think we'll have dead silence, and it's just, we just don't have it yet. You know, that's kind of what we're doing right now. I've been running Overkill as my wild card for the most part, just because that way I can have an AR, and then my secondary is the Jackal, so I kind of have the best of both worlds. If you only want to use the Jackal, then I would just run an extra perk, and then I've been running triple red perks and then Flak Jacket as my setup if it's just a Jackal class, but most of the time I'm running an AR and a Jackal just so I can kind of mix it up. I do want to say with the perks, one negative that I have that I hopefully like they could fix this or take it out. I don't know. I think it's pretty lame. They have like this cringe bonus with the all blue perks. If you run all 3 blue perks, your bonus is like basically wall hacks. So like when you spawn up after you die for like 3 seconds, I would say, you pretty much see the entire team, the entire enemy team through the walls. Think of like Ghosts. I forgot the name of that like perk in Ghost where you could see people through the walls, but it kind of looks similar to that. But basically you can see through the walls for about 3 seconds off spawn and you see the entire enemy team. So a couple times what happened to me is like I killed someone, and then because the spawn system of this game sucks, they spawn close up next to me again, and not only did they spawn close up next to me again, and they saw me like pushing towards them again off a spawn through the wall, and they just like killed me right when I like came around the corner because they could see me through the wall. I thought that was pretty lame. I don't know if we could make some adjustments to that or something. I don't know. I didn't like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my initial thoughts. I thought this video was going to be short, but I think we're looking at like a 20-minute video right now because I had a lot to say, I guess. I didn't think I had this much to say, but you know, once I get going, I just start talking. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my thoughts. You know, I don't want to give too much right now. After the second weekend of the beta, I will do a super in-depth beta review before the actual game comes out. That's when I like to do like my in-depth, because I think they're going to increase the level cap to 30. It's going to be an open beta. We should get some more stuff, more maps, more guns, more everything, so I can give you a little bit more thoughts then. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for weekend number 1. I'm enjoying the game so far. I would say definitely give it a try. Weekend number 2, it's going to be open for everyone, so just give it a try, see if you like it. I don't know. It's hard to really like recommend or not recommend this game because the movement is so much different than every other COD. I feel like you need to try it out yourself and see if that's something you like or don't like. So I would just recommend giving it a shot in this upcoming weekend when everyone can play. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, rating if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already, follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. Other than that, have a good day and peace out. Are you multitasking?